Hello, so welcomes back everyone, and Wolf here with even more Star Wars The Old Republic, playing as Ciaphas Cain here, my Jedi Knight, here on the world of Alderaan. We've arrived at Wardpost Duvall, and we aided in one of the heroic missions here. Of course, there are other quests we will be able to pick up, but first, as I mentioned at the end of the last part, we're going to look at the various noble houses. Of course, we may as well start with the one we are allied to. House Organa is perhaps the most respected noble house on Alderaan. House Organa ancestors were among the first to settle the planet and were pivotal in the formation of the Galactic Republic. The Organas have remained vocal supporters of the Republic for millennia, believers in patient negotiation over aggression, and were outraged when Senator Gul Pantier announced Alderaan's independence. Okay, so we're learning a bit more there. The current Duke Organa epitomizes what the house is known for. During the Great War, the Duke was a fierce opponent of the Empire and the Sith, who saw his family treated brutally during the Empire's short-lived invasion of Alderaan. This neither soured the Duke and his house on peace, nor weakened a resolve to battle evil. When Alderaan's civil war began years later, Organa was among the last houses to take up arms, but the Duke had privately trained a talented and honourable battalion for such an eventuality, and readily turned to the Republic for advice and assistance during this crisis. And then we have our fiercest opponents, House Fool, who are of course being backed by the Empire. The members of House Fool are descended from a wealthy and ambitious merchant who bought his way into the nobility. The Fools consider this a point of pride, specializing in brokering trade, in acting as caretakers of Alderaan's economy. Yet for generations, the relative youth of the Fool house carried a stigma. Unable to marry a Fool into royalty, the house made a desperate bid for the throne. House Fool switched an Organa infant with a Fool baby and supported the changeling as a potential bride for the Crown Prince. A young Jedi exposed this treachery and stopped the wedding, creating a scandal that led to the disgraced Fool's exile from Alderaan. Fool maintained its pride and its culture in exile, though the house became impoverished and isolated in its off-world estates. It was decades before Fool nobles were contacted by the Imperial Diplomatic Service. The Empire promised to restore Fool to its rightful glory, to train its soldiers and educate its children, and one day help it return to Alderaan. At last, in the aftermath of the Alderaan's withdrawal from the Republic and the death of its queen, a generation of Fools raised alongside the Empire came home, eager to restore the family name and take vengeance against Fool's enemies. Fool has already gained the allegiance of a number of lesser houses, and with Imperial support, stands as a true contender for the throne. And finally, we have House Ulgo, who we don't know a great deal about, apart from they have some grudge against House Organa and the Republic. The noble House Ulgo has a long history of military excellence. The family values discipline and duty above all else, and Ulgos pride themselves on forsaking the pampered, aristocratic lifestyles the other noble houses have gravitated toward. The Ulgo tradition of requiring every member to serve in the military has produced generations of distinguished officers. In recent years, the Ulgos became increasingly frustrated with the political stalemate in the Alderaan Parliament. When the Queen died and House Fool returned from exile with the support of the Empire, General Boris Olgo pleaded with the collecting nobles to act quickly to push Fool back off the planet. When it became clear that the nobles were too fractured to stop what he saw as a second imperial invasion, Boris Olgo declared himself king and declared war on House Fool. Unfortunately, grabbing the crown forced the hand of the other noble houses, and they in turn declared war against House Olgo. Olgo now finds itself beset on all sides as it struggles to defend the crown and brutally reinstate order on Alderaan, no matter the cost in blood and resources. So this general, who I believe was a soldier in the Republic, maybe even an officer, saw what he believed was the Empire just diplomatically taking over his homeworld. But since the Alderaan Parliament weren't doing anything, he grasped the reins of power. He probably hates House Organa then for their attempted diplomatic approach, seeing it as ineffective. Well, you know, part of me actually more sides with Boris Olgo now, but we best keep that thought to ourselves.
Can this wait, NO? I've got 7 bioscans left.
Patrols report a 50% increase in blaster malfunctions.
Okay, set up a meeting with the staff sergeant. And blast it, tell me when guests are here.
Acknowledged.
Science Commander Kekana Herot, Regional Supervisor for the House Organa Garrison. Glad you made it.
How did you know I was coming?
Saw the report on how you handled the Wolf Baron and House Thule. Hoped you could help us out here too. This area used to be a staging point against House Olgo. Usurper General calls himself King of Alderaan, but Olgo outplayed us.
How were you outplayed?
Alderaan has a native species called the killicks. Insects. Hive mind. Semi-intelligent. House Olgo turned them against us. The bugs swarm, rip apart walkers, whole battalions.
Is Olgo controlling the bugs somehow?
That's what I'd like to know. I was drafted as science commander to find the killick's weakness, but I need a task force to get inside enemy territory. If you can capture a living specimen, I can learn how Olgo makes the nests attack, and stop all this at once.
If you've got a strategy, lay it out.
Killicks can absorb prisoners into their hive mind. The victims are called joiners. You'd need to assault killick territory, subdue a joiner under fire, and bring him here for interrogation. This tranquilizer will keep him docile.
Assuming I can capture a joiner, is that all?
Hey, we're losing this fight. If we don't solve the killick problem soon, this place will be overrun. You're our best hope, and there'll be no second chance.
Lovely. And we've already seen what the killicks are like at the military lab where the death mark happened to be.
Research or strategy. Either way, I need that joiner for study.
There are a couple of other quests here, but let's focus on the world quest for now. Let's see if we can find a joiner and bring him back for interrogation. We have another noble house estate here, which unfortunately I believe has been overrun by the killicks. Yeah, House Taral. Ah, perfect. We're gonna have to try and weaken that joiner. deal with the most dangerous opponent first.
There, good as new. I got your back.
Ooh, careful. Ooh, bloody hell. Let's see how fast you can run. Pretty damn fast, actually.
You got one? Fantastic. Containment protocols, Enno.
What have you done to us? We've strayed from the nest.
Good. If he can talk, he can tell us why the Killicks are attacking, and how House Ulgo is controlling them.
You said he'd be brainwashed.
Killick pheromones bond with chemicals in the brain. Long-term exposure has other physiological consequences, too.
We remember when we lived among you. Before joining the kind, there was only isolation.
I'm going to run some scans. Hey, tell us, why the aggression? Is Ulgo supplying you? Scaring you?
There is such pain now. The song of the universe is disrupted. The warriors are angry, and we swarm.
I don't understand. You say there's pain?
We feel the agony. Your species is responsible. We must swarm.
There's a lot of neural activity. He is hurting. Must be his connection to the hive mind. Not sure why.
Your people drag us to your pain factory beneath the mountains. You must be dissected and absorbed.
Where are the Killicks being taken?
The tunnels. So close. We can sense them now.
Enno, take him to a cell.
When we come, you will join with us.
We have our answer. Ulgo is torturing Killicks on our land, driving them against us. Take out the Ulgo pain factory, and you free up almost all our troops.
Suppose you're right. What's our next step?
There's a cave system nearby. Ulgo troop levels are high, and we've spotted Killicks too. Place is a death trap. No one gets near it. It's got to be the pain factory. If you get inside, destroy the Ulgo forces and contact me. Let's stop that swarm.
You just said the place is a death trap and you're sending me in there. You sound like more and more like the Jedi Council. Lovely. Since we are actually...
Backup squads?
Oh?
The long-range artillery installations? Did you find any trace of them?
The camps are empty, sir. Trail of bodies leading back to the mounds. The front lines are a graveyard.
Or the remnants of a feeding frenzy? These Killick hives are wiping us out. They're mindless insects.
Not so mindless, sir. They use tactics to lure the men out. Surround them. Wipe them out.
We'll get a message to the field battalion. Our offensive waits until we deal with these things.
Great. So even more troops are in trouble here. We actually have a fellow Jedi.
Chobot I kafstuan dile jihulo kuta. Bunawa tuipi la liska. Chaskruni dopat kurira dokanki kung.
I'm afraid you lost me there.
Buka kambak nijit tonka yiliska chanaga. Che chopa kuma ni umpi but malia bedwana ni bobo. Piti do tenya go kaka jujo. Da biska ku paliya.
Allow me to do this.
Chikos pa ini gudad ijigliska chanagawa.
So this Organa Noble is being infected by the killick pheromones. And if we leave him unattended, he will become another joiner. The Jedi believes he can use some healing arts to separate the noble's mind from the hive. But we need to cause a distraction. Thankfully, the distraction is located near the same place as this Ulgo Pain factory. We came up here earlier to get access to the military laboratory, but it's actually also where Ulgo have their own factory.
You'll live.
Those giant mounds are killick nests. Anytime you see one of those, keep your lightsaber handy.
Damn right. Let's be careful here. Let's fight our way through. Need to kill quite a few of the killicks. We can destroy some of their egg clusters as well. That might cause a nice distraction.
Take that!
Maybe we just need to deal with some more killicks. Okay. We can but hope that that has caused enough of its distraction that our fellow Jedi is able to separate the Organa Noble's mind from the hive. And through here is the House Ulgo facility where they're torturing the killicks. Need to find the main control room. There's bound to be a bonus for dealing with so many of the Ulgo defenders, but we have a bit of stealth, we may as well make use of it. Okay, this seems promising.
Jedi, alert base and assume battle positions. Retarget the torture droids. Release the killicks if you have to. We can take the enemy's very best.
You've done enough already. I won't let you hurt anyone else.
You don't know anything about this, Jedi, and you're never going to learn. For House Ulgo! For the crown!
You're done.
Well, you weren't even going to try and explain it to me. We need to destroy these torture droids. Oh, great. Oh, bloody hell. Nice deflection. Yeah, these killicks must think we are, just like House Ulgo, the ones responsible for their situation. Just came out and attacked us outright. Let's shut down this factory.
If it isn't my favorite strike team, tell me you found the Ulgo Pain Factory.
They were torturing killicks. I didn't expect this smell. The sights... it's gruesome.
Don't empathize too much. The important thing is no more killick frenzies. Of course, it'd be a shame to let all that tech go to waste. But Ulgo learned a few things about the bugs.
I trust you have a strategy.
I might be able to replicate the Ulgo experiments. Bring the killicks onto our side. See if you can salvage the data and equipment.
Sorry, but I can't let someone else torture a sentient life form.
You don't think of anyone but yourself. Fine. You should get out of there. Meet me at the command post for a debrief.
You sent me to my death. And now you're calling me selfish. We're going to be having words.
The strike team destroyed the Ulgo facility. Killick attacks have fallen by 40% already.
It seems putting you in charge was the right decision after all.
Thank you, sir.
And this must be your strike team. Always a pleasure to see you.
Your science commander was planning to replicate Ulgo's experiments.
Is that so? We should discuss this later, Commander.
Yes, sir.
But then we strike at House Ulgo itself. Thanks to all of you.
I know we had our differences, but I'm willing to bury them. I've got battle plans to draw and a lot of stimcaf to drink.
I hope everything goes well. Be careful.
You too. This war's no good for any of us, and it's a long way from over.
Suppose I should maybe cut her some slack. She may have seen a bit too much already. Maybe it skewed her opinion of right and wrong. Some more crafting materials. A lot of goodies we can sell.
In the backup squads, the long-range artillery installations that find their trace in them.
Chatungi ma chechu I kutsig nang kihe. Kuchusa yo mata chitoya asubwi mota uipa. Se gota do muti kihasa da puño. Liz di woto.
Not a problem. Glad to help.
Stand by for examination and suggested products.
There's one more thing we can do here.
You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
I should have probably picked up this quest on the way to get or capture the killick joiner. But no matter. We have a member of House Taral here. We've seen their compound.
Master Jedi, thank the Founders you came. It's barbarism. Alec Taral of House Taral. We have an enclave not far from here. Peaceful, secluded. It's a place of study. Then the killicks found us. Came crawling in the doors, the windows, the walls. The enclave was destroyed.
Do you need medical attention?
We're covered in their filth. I almost twisted my ankle running away. Our only defense was a few insecticide mines, but there was no warning, no time to activate them. Bryn, our groundskeeper, tried to distract them anyway. The killicks, well, there's not much left of him now.
Would they come after survivors like you?
They have what they wanted, probably nesting in our beds, laying eggs in the dining hall. We can't abandon House Taral. We have to salvage what we can before the killicks or the Empire get to it. We're not soldiers. Those insecticide mines are our only weapon, and they're sitting dormant back at the Enclave with those bugs.
You have my word. It will be done.
The insecticide mines shouldn't be hard to activate. Once they're online, we'll have a chance. But do be careful. Those bugs don't understand surrender.
Yeah, when he says insecticide mines, it's not like mines that I would typically consider. In fact, it's more like a poison dispenser, if I remember correctly. He's hoping, I believe, to poison the hives surrounding House Taral. Hopefully then driving the hive mind to retreat from this region. We have some old ruins here. Probably from some history of Alderaan. Be an interesting place to study if we had the time, for a sage at the very least. Let's just disable that killick there. Here's the groundskeeper. And he has what we seek. These mines are designed to emit a pheromone that attract killicks and then detonate when they get near. But it's also if you plant them in the ground, you plant them on the hive itself. What makes it so curious.
You'll live.
So let's plant this mine. And that's how it works. We actually have a lore object on joiners and a killick hive mind. We'll have a look at that once we're in a safe, somewhat safe location. We've learned a little bit already from talking to various individuals, but a codex entry may share more. And back to Wardpost Duvall we go once again.
Your insecticide mines are online. The killick should clear out soon.
You have no idea what this means to us. The thought of their talons on our prized heirlooms. We'll get word to the main house. Hopefully they can send some reinforcements. I thank you for this.
There we are. You are welcome. And this is a perfect time to take another break.
No matter what comes, House Taral will endure.
I hope it will. So, we still need to, of course, find Elena Hawk within House Fool territory. As a gesture of goodwill, we should really try to minimize casualties when we go confront her. But we are going to be going up through the Duran Mountains. As a player of the Republic, we do have our next ward post just beyond the bridges here. Whereas players of the Empire have a outpost both as they enter the Duran Mountains and beyond the House Alder compound, which I think is about here. But we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll head forward to the next ward post and see how else we can be of assistance. Thank you all for joining me once again with even more Star Wars The Old Republic. As always, if you so wish, feel free to leave a comment, and hopefully I'll see you for even more next time. Until then, no, take care. Bye-bye now.